And what a reason to blow the trumpets. I can't think of a better. I'm sure when he heard those trumpets, they all had a new meaning to him. The trumpets represent the ingathering of God's people. You know that? Matter of fact, in the book of Thessalonians, it says, when the last trump is blown, the dead in Christ shall rise, and we who are alive shall remain, shall be caught up. It's the trumpet of God that's going to call us in. It's the ingathering of God's chosen people. The trumpets are a sign of God gathering his people. Trumpets blew, this guy got up, he was walking, he had a whole new idea of life. And it all happened at the pool of God's mercy. Boy, this thing is so full of images and lessons for you and me that it just blows me away. It says, and he began to walk about. From 3 commands came 3 chances for him to obey. And as he obeyed each command, he began to understand what the master had waited so long for him. It was all about obedience. Obedience. Now the side note on this is that it happened on the Sabbath. You think it matters to God that it happened on the Sabbath? It does. I guarantee you that. God did it intentionally. He did it intentionally because he knew that there were those who would be offended. And that's what happened. The religious who were trying to keep the law became infuriated against him. And it says so in the verses that follow. But what this story really encapsulates to you and me is, what is the mission of ministry? What is it that ministry is really all about? And what it tells us is it's about people, one at a time. It's just about people. First, at Cana in Galilee, Jesus performed the first miracle to satisfy the needs of people, some friends, and his mother at a wedding. Turned water into wine. Baptist preachers have been trying to explain that away ever since. Then he went to Jerusalem at a festival. It was the first Passover. And it says many people were healed, one by one. He met the needs of people, one by one. And then he went to Sychar in Samaria and met a woman at the well. And one by one, she led others back to him. And one by one, he talked and preached for 2 days and established really the first community of believers in the New Testament. And then he left Samaria and went back to Galilee, to Cana again. It doesn't say he did anything in Cana. It just says that's where his first miracle was. And a nobleman approaches him who's got a son that's 30 or 40 miles away in Capernaum. And the nobleman's pleading with Jesus to heal his son from this fever because he's dying. And Jesus says he's healed. He met the needs of a nobleman and his son. And as a result, him and his whole family became believers. You see, it's about people. And now he's back at another festival in Jerusalem. Doesn't say which one, but it's the second celebration he's been to in Jerusalem at a festival. And he heals this man who has been there for 38 years. He met the needs of one person at a time. That's what our job is, to meet the needs of people. Ministry is all about people. If we lose the focus of ministry being over there, outside of you and me, then we lose our ministry. If it's minister to me, we'll lose it. If it's minister to others, we'll keep it. It's not about me. It's about others. We're the ones that have the message. They're the ones that need the ministry. We can't play, oh, woe is me. We don't get fixed that way. We do what God says do, and all these things will be added unto you. That's what he promises over and over in the New Testament.